I've done over 200 transactions, a lot of loan origination as well. So I geek out on the real estate market. Anything to do with South Florida real estate, I have a pretty good grip on the market, and I care at the end of the day. Not every home that you show a buyer is a good fit for them, and I have no problem telling them, hey, this probably is not the home for you. I think we could do better.
Welcome to the Dream Home Podcast, the show where real estate meets real talk. Hosted by John Nagle, a seasoned expert with over $7 billion in real estate financing experience. This podcast features top realtors, builders, and financial pros. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, we've got the tools to help you make smarter moves. Here's your host, John Nagle.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Dream Home Podcast, where we explore the communities, people, and programs that help turn your dream of homeownership into reality. I'm your host, John Nagle with CMG Home Loans. Today, we're talking about something truly exciting, finding not just a house, but a home that fits your lifestyle and fuels your passions. And who better to help us dive into that topic than our guest today, Aaron Abbadie. Aaron is a proud University Central Florida alum, a passionate fitness enthusiast, and a powerhouse real estate professional with over 7 years of experience helping clients find their dream homes. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, a luxury home seeker, or simply looking for the perfect space to thrive, Aaron brings a unique energy and expertise to the home buying journey. Let's jump right in and find out what makes Aaron a standout in the real estate world. Good morning, Aaron. Thanks again for joining us here this morning.
John, it's a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me today. Really happy to be here.
Okay, so let's start strong. What would you say are your real estate superpowers? What makes you different from everyone else out there?
Well, when I look at the real estate agent landscape, I notice that a lot of them are older. They don't dress too well. They don't speak clearly. I'm a young, tech literate, high energy real estate professional. And I really pride myself on personal development. I ran my first marathon this year. I'm constantly challenging myself, putting myself in rooms where people are doing a lot bigger things than I am. And that's always forced me to grow and keep my accountability really high. So I bring that X factor with me to the table is definitely something that I pride myself on. And I also have my mortgage license, so I am able to provide a unique perspective and a more intimate advisory process to a lot of my buyer clients.
Yeah, that's definitely being able to have that knowledge on both sides of the transaction, because that's definitely something that's very intimidating, and especially for those first-time home buyers out there that haven't gone through that process before. So that's awesome. So when someone first meets you or walks through a property you recommend, what do you think they feel that's different?
When they first meet me, definitely that, I know I'm a master of my craft. I've been selling real estate since I was 19. I've done over 200 transactions, a lot of loan origination as well. So I geek out on the real estate market. Anything to do with South Florida real estate, I have a pretty good grip on the market, and I care at the end of the day. Not every home that you show a buyer is a good fit for them, and I have no problem telling them, hey, this probably is not the home for you. I think we could do better.
Okay. And buying or selling a home can sometimes feel overwhelming, especially today. How do you help your clients feel confident and at ease through the process?
I make them feel confident by giving them the entire lifespan of the transaction. Hey guys, this is what the end is going to look like. It's only going to take 45 days, right? Unless we buy new construction, in which case everything is under warranty and we just have to wait for the construction process. So I really encapsulate the whole timeline and reverse engineer the process. I don't want to go A through Z right away. I'll just say, hey, these are the next 1 or 2 steps, and I'm going to be here for you every step of the way. And that usually gives them a level of confidence that they didn't have before.
Okay, I understand that. And then can you share a specific time when a client was facing major obstacles and you helped turn it around for them?
Yeah, so oftentimes I'll get introduced to a client who wants to buy a new construction home, but they need to sell their home first. And depending on the builder, they might not give us a contingency, which protects that client's deposit if they were not able to sell their home. But because I have such a good relationship with our nation's top home builders, I was able to negotiate a 45-day contingency giving us 45 days to sell their home and protect their deposit, which allowed us to go to contract on the new home and give us 45 days of risk-free time on the market. And we were able to get their home under contract. We're closing in the next 16 days. So that was a huge win for everyone involved, the builder, the client, and myself.
Yeah, that's a great story. And that's not an easy thing to do because the builders are not necessarily always that easy to work with. So obviously your relationship with them is what brought that one, your ability to put that together on that basis. So let's shift gears a little bit. Tell us about something, an awesome experience, maybe a buyer or family that really left an impact on you.
There's so many, I enjoy real estate, not for the sales, but for the impact that it has on the client and on me. I could go down the list from helping some of my fraternity brothers purchase their first investment property to my first $1 million home sale and getting really involved with that family. If I had to pick one, the most recent one also was referred to me by a builder. It was a single mother, and she was really excited to purchase this new construction home. She lost one of her sons last year in a tragic accident. And, that really spoke to me because I had not a single mother, but a mother who, dealt with a lot raising me and my little sister, and seeing that this single mother, she needed $9,000 of additional closing costs, and they were offering like a 4% commission on this transaction. And the builder called me to see if I would be willing to contribute to help her get to the closing table. She didn't have anyone else. And, I was so happy to do it. And, to be an advocate for her when she didn't really have anyone else to lean on. So it's moments like that that really humanize the entire transaction for me and, remind me why we're in this business.
Wow, that's a powerful story. So what keeps you inspired day after day in such a competitive business?
Keeping myself in rooms with people who are doing much more than I am reminds me of the opportunity that we have here in the United States. This is the greatest country in the world, and we have the most amount of opportunity than we have ever had in the history of the United States. And I do not take that lightly. So, we have the ability to serve clients at a super high level. We have very motivated sellers in the marketplace, and I have every skill set and resource available to me to help as many people as possible. So I just remind myself of that every day. There's a lot of people in my corner who woke up with the same amount of opportunity or less than I did. And, they're doing quite a bit with that opportunity. And, I want a big life. So there's a lot that goes into that, but I'm definitely an entrepreneur at heart, and we live in a great society for that. So,
no, I couldn't agree with you more. I think the United States is the land of opportunity, and we live in a great country, and is absolutely amazing what can be accomplished here that maybe isn't so easy if we were in other parts of the world.
Amen.
So I know from following your social media that you're big into using tools and strategies to help your clients. What are some resources you offer and recommend to help them to have a smoother experience?
Definitely. So I represent a lot of homeowners that need to sell their home to get to the promised land, whatever that looks like. And I have a CMA template that has worked really, really well for me. It's a Google Doc, and I just have my logo on it. But the way that I format the CMA from recently sold homes, pending homes that haven't closed yet, expired listings, active listings, and the price per square foot for each of those properties helps us have a conversation in a structured format that shows us, hey, this is what success looks like, and then this is what our competition is doing, and this is the price per square foot that we need to stay away from. And breaking it down to a price per square foot basis really takes the guesswork out of the market analysis, and I'm not beating up their home either, right? It's a very logical approach to arriving at a competitive sales price, and it deepens trust with me. Even though my number might come in a little bit lower than they'd like these days, they respect me for it, and it helps streamline the process, and it saves us a lot of time on the market.
Yeah, it takes a lot of the emotions out of it. It makes it much less personal by comparing it, saying, here's what's going on in the market. We're not, looking at the way you decorated your home or the way you did this or that or took care of your landscaping. This is just what's out there. So I think that's a great approach. So those are some real game changers. Are there any programs, incentives, or insider tips buyers should know about, especially for those looking for luxury homes or relocating to new areas?
I would certainly find an agent who understands new construction home sales. Every contract with every builder is so different, and they are often in favor of the builder. So if you don't have an agent who's representing you and guiding you through that process, helping you negotiate with the builder to help you get those contingencies to give you extra layers of protection, you could be trapping yourself in a really tricky scenario without that extra guidance. And additionally, builders will negotiate with you. They will increase the incentives that they offer you. They might offer some loan products or features that you wouldn't get otherwise if you didn't ask. So just understanding that the builders are the most motivated sellers in the marketplace these days, and knowing how to speak their language will definitely save you money, time, and make it a more equitable experience for you.
Right, you're absolutely right about those builder contracts. Literally, they all have different forms. Many of them are 50 to 75 pages long, and I don't care who you are to get through one of those contracts and find the important details. You do have to have that experience in that new home marketplace to really know what to look for. So I agree with you 1,000% there. So walk us through what it's like working with you from the first meeting to closing day. What's the client journey like with Aaron?
Yeah, that's a great question. I actually have a call in about 45 minutes with a couple who they're relocating from two different markets, one from LA and one from North Carolina to Palm Beach County, right? So the first step is a discovery call. Hey, tell me a little bit about your scenario, where you're living at now. What's your lifestyle like? I really want to get to know the human being on the other side of the phone so that I can speak to that in terms of what they can look forward to moving to Palm Beach County or whatever that destination is. And then once we've identified what their current situation looks like, whether they need to get out of a lease or sell their home, or if they can just hit the ground running and buy something sooner than later, then we move on to financing. Then I'll go ahead and have them submit a loan application, get them pre-approved. And that pre-approval, I'm sure you can relate, John, gives them so much more confidence when approaching the marketplace, right? And I didn't mention this, but we'll also have a brief conversation on how the market is. They always want to know how's the market. Mm-hmm. And that also gives them a little bit of confidence, especially now knowing that most properties are trading off of the asking price, right? Below asking price. That gets buyers excited. So getting that pre-approval done and understanding the market a little bit really helps move the needle for buyers who are relocating.
Yeah, I agree with you there. It's a great time to buy because that wasn't happening a couple of years ago where you were able to buy properties off the asking price and or to get, seller concessions. So it is a great time to buy right now. So if someone's on the fence about reaching out, what would you say to them? What should they make their first call?
Yeah, I'd say if you're on the fence, buying has a lot more to do with where you are in life than what the market's doing. If you're in a good position, you have the money, and you can afford to buy something, you just need the right advice. You need to work with the right professionals to make that move and make sure it's a smart purchase. If you're not ready, it doesn't matter what the market's doing. You're not ready, right? But if you're ready, really lean on the right professionals, the right financial experts, the right loan officers, the right realtors to source the right deals, give you the right advice, because that can make all the difference.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So Aaron, thank you so much for being here today and sharing your passion, energy, and insights. It's clear you bring a truly special approach to real estate, one that's not just about buying a house, but building a thriving life. Listeners, if you're ready to find a home that fits your lifestyle and fuels your passions, you can connect with Aaron directly. Just check the links in the show notes. And remember, if you need help with financing your dream home, I'm here to help at CMG Home Loans. Visit us anytime at dreamhomepodcast.com. If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe to the Dream Home Podcast and share it with your friends and family. Thanks for tuning in, and see you next time. Aaron, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it. And good luck with those two meetings that you have later this morning.
I appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks for listening to the Dream Home Podcast, hosted by John Nagle. Ready to take the next step toward your dream home? Visit www.dreamhomepodcast.com for resources, tips, and expert advice. If you enjoyed today's episode, subscribe, leave a review, and join us next time for more real estate insights and mortgage tips. Until then, happy home hunting.